Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's week 13 for the mission inspiration and the word for this week is cyclical. So cyclical, embrace the eternal rhythm of life's cycles. Like the moon waxing and waning, find comfort in the ebb and flow. Navigate with patience, for in cyclical patterns discover the magic of renewal. Embrace the seasons, knowing that each turn contributes to the perpetual dance of existence. So when I read that, I was immediately reminded of a song from, I think it was the 1970s. Not really sure, but I'm sure it was. Anyway, so that's going to be, the words of the song are going to be part of my art journal page. And of course, so we've got the embracing the seasons, the cyclical pattern of renewal. So I'm going to have some spirally, circly kind of patterns on my page today. So, and also it's the Easter weekend this weekend. So I'm going to have a bunny. I've got to have a bunny. And seeing as we're talking about cycles, we've also got to have a moon in there. So what I've done is I've got one of my sets of the nesting shapes, and I'm going to use the outside sized one. I'm just going to quickly give that a bit of a sand off because we've got a little bit of a tab nub in there that I don't particularly want on the inside. So just with a bit of an emery board or a bit of fine sandpaper, they just come off really, really easy. So that's the largest size is the one that I'm going to use. So I've got my, blow the dust away, I've got my image that I've already printed out and I've already given it a kind of brownish feel because I want to kind of keep with that vintage kind of wood natural kind of feel today. And I've already laid it onto the image and drawn with a pencil. I've just gone around the circle so that the moon kind of fits in within. So I'm kind of happy with the way that kind of sits at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me just move those other papers out of the way, is I'm going to start just by cutting out that circle. I'm going to cut it within the inside of the line because I know that that's going to be hidden behind the piece of wood. And then I'm not even going to attempt to cut out too much fussy cutting of all those branches and twigs and stuff on the image. I'm going to leave that, so then we'll go straight down there. It's almost going to be an image that looks like it's in a snow globe, but that's okay, we don't mind that. Something different, something definitely a little bit different. Let's just cut round. Like I said, I'm not going to fussy cut all those branches because why would you? Really, why would you? Not when it's Easter weekend and there's chocolate to be had and sweets and treats and all the rest of it. Okay. Right, so if I get rid of that bit of paper now, just lay that down on my desk, then I get my piece of wood that's now going to sit on top of there quite nicely, just framing that moon and the hair, which I think is really, really pretty. But this is the piece of card which is going to go on my on the actual page itself. There's my prompt card. So I've already cut out some watercolour cardstock for that to sit on there. So that's going to sit kind of like there. And then that's going to sit over the top. But I want something in between. I still want to convey that kind of spiral. So what I've done is I've gone into my Halloween collection and I've printed a sheet of my zany circles. And this is the brown and cream one. So using that sheet, I'm going to kind of position that somewhere sort of down towards the bottom so that the main spiral is at the top. or post at the top. So if you remember where this goes, I want to try and kind of get it so it's sort of in the middle. So what I'll do is I'll just take a pencil and I'll make a few kind of crop and tick marks, so I know fairly where the size of that sheet is going to go. And then I'm going to grab my paper trimmers and I'm going to cut it so it's just on the inside of that kind of size that we wanted. So I'll have to be very careful because I don't want the paper to tear. So if I lay it that way and then drop it down about there, and we're going to cut the sheet just shy of those crop and tick marks that we made. Just so I still get a little bit of a white border around the sheet. So, oh, I can hear the tiny little plod of footsteps coming up the stairs. Is that a Nip or a Bentley? It's a Mr. Bentley. So, with it being Easter, Mum and Dad are here. Mum's downstairs reading at the moment, or knitting, and Ian's taken Dad out to one of the local garden centres. So I've got a little bit of time to come up and sit and do a little bit of playing. So there's the spiral, and then we're going to lay this over the top so we still get that kind of image. And then my wooden frame is going to go over the top there. Like it, like the turn of the universe, the spiral of creation, almost like a spiral of a galaxy as well, isn't it, really? So I think maybe I want to trim just a tiny bit more, or shall I just sand that off? Yeah, when you don't want to cut just a fraction off, there's nothing wrong with just sanding. Emery boards have a multitude of uses, not just for filing your nails. Okay, right, so sort of a layered collage today. Not really going to use any paints. Oh, somebody's obviously cutting the grass outside. I can hear the sound of a lawnmower. Well, I know it won't be Mum. Alright, so let's flip that over. And I like the fact that this is also fairly kind of monotone. It's not a huge amount of colour in the page. Muted. Give that a little bit of a white down, and then we can place a little image. I don't mind the fact that it's off there a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour this first, but instead of painting it, I'm actually going to use some India ink. So I've got some Faber-Castell tip pens, and I want a reddish kind of brown one. So what's this one? Sanguine. That'll do. And I'm hoping that there's enough juice left in this. With it being wood, it will just soak in, but you can colour it as well. So most people would paint these and then maybe cover them in embossing powder like I did with the butterfly wreath the other day, or glitter maybe, or even gilding flake or wax, or you know, that kind of stuff. But There's nothing wrong with you just using them straight as they are if you're wanting a kind of natural wood feel. So I've gone over this with that kind of brown, ready brown, seeing as we're going kind of sepia toned. Ink, you could have inked these if you'd wanted to as well. You could put like your Versamark down and then put clear embossing powder over the top if you wanted to give it a shiny look or add glossy accents, if that's your bag. Lots and lots of different ways to use these nesting shapes as either frames or elements for journal pages, mixed media canvases. You can cut them up because they're only thin with a pair of scissors. Lots and lots and lots of different ways, and they dry fairly quickly as well. But you can just give them a quick blast if you want. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn that over, grab that PVA. Did I close it? I didn't. Just put a real thin bead because it's wood. The PVA is perfect because, you know, PVA is intrinsically wood glue. And then let's get our circle and lay that down, and you have a little bit of wiggly room. Just before it grabs. There we go. Look at that. Love it. And then we've got the spiral and spin of the universe. Okay, let's just grab some distress ink. Where's my brown one? There it is. That's really going to be hidden underneath anyway, so I just want to go around the bottom of that piece just to hide any kind of white. But I'm not going to touch this bit here. I'm going to leave that white as is. Shall we just go around the back end of that one? Why not? Just go around the back end, just because. For no other reason than we can. Okay, just be careful not to get too much of it on your fingers, because the last thing you want is a big, dirty, great big fingerprint in the middle of your main focal point. Right, more glue. There we go. And then we just flip that over. Before we stick it down, is it better that way or better that way? I think I like it better that way. Let's have it that way then. Yeah. And then just create that little bit of a border at the bottom. So we've got almost like a three, so we've got the white, the spiral, and then the actual edge of the image itself. Like it. And then I'm going to bring in my quote and a pair of scissors. I don't know why I got my cutting mat, so I've got no knife here, so I'm just going to quickly go around and you'll be able to see in a moment what the words of that song is. I apologise in advance if this is going to kick off earworms for everybody. Sorry, not sorry as far as the words go, but you may recognise it as soon as I start laying the lines out. So there we go. As soon as I read the quote, I thought of this song immediately. So, like I said, sorry, not sorry if it kicks off an earworm. So I've just printed off, like I said, the first couple of lines because I just think it fits with the feel of the prompt and kind of with the theme. The prompt and the theme. So we've got round like a circle in a spiral, like a wheel within a wheel, never ending or beginning on an ever spinning reel, which is perfect for cyclical. So, and if you're not really sure where the words of the song is or what the song is, it's the Windmills of Your Mind, but I can't remember who first sang it. I know there are different versions of it out there. My favourite version was sung by Alison Moyet, British singer. Was it in a band called Yazoo in the very, very late 70s and early 80s, and then went on a solo career of her own. Went on to do lots of theatre and Broadway, starred as Mama Morton in Chicago, and went on to do a lot of jazz, but she also covered this as well. So I'm sure somebody in the comment section will tell us who the original artist for this song was, or possibly even who wrote it and what year it was first released. There you go, because I reckon somewhere in the 70s. But I could be wrong. All right, so let's get that glue and make sure I get it in the right order. So I think maybe I might have actually done this whole thing in one take as well. So yay, no editing for me to do. Just straight top and tail and up onto YouTube. Marvellous. Now something will happen, which means I'm going to have to do a bit of editing. I spoke too soon. Famous last words. Move that up a little bit. There we go. Because we can. Let's move that up. Move that up a little bit. Yes. Love it. I think that fits that cyclical brief for the prompt really, really well. So let me just spin that over. Get the glue. See, I'm singing the song in my head now. Told you to turn into an earworm, like I said. I'm sorry, not sorry, because it's a good song. It's a real good song. Fabulous. There you go. So that is for week 13 for Mission Inspiration 2024. And like I said, the prompt is cyclical. Round like a circle, like a circle in a spiral, like a wheel within a wheel. We've actually got a circle within a spiral. There you go, you see. Never ending or beginning on an ever spinning reel. There you go. The cycle of life, the cycle of the universe, the turn of the earth, the spin of the moon, cycle of life itself. So, like I said before, I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this video. If you have, please remember to take a moment just to give the video a thumbs up, because it really does help spread the word about my YouTube channel, and it does get my videos out there to people who might not have yet found me. Don't forget, you can share the video with your friends by clicking that share button underneath the video, but also if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.